If one bad day can make you forget who you are, then you probably were never that person to begin with.
I want to say something. A prize, motherfucker.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's going on, everybody? As we all know, mental health is a huge piece for me. And recently, as I become a better version of myself, I've decided that it's time for me to go to therapy because I understand how life can be a little overwhelming and we all need help navigating through the trenches of military service in and out of uniform. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, all you got to do is go to their site. Matter of fact, you can use my link right here. Answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call or video chat or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You will be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your home. Visit betterhelp.com/Meech Speaks and enjoy a special discount on your first month. What's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with the extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm Demetrius, Thigpen, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome back to another episode of the Talkin Crazy Podcast. Now, before we get started with this podcast, don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. So, I'm going to just go ahead and just say this right now. You're not hearing this episode off of like a fluke. Like, this is not an accidental drop. I already said that I've been channeling that 2020 Meech. Now, if you have been listening to me for a while, then you know that when I first started podcasting, I used to drop episodes frequently. I'm talking about Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, 3 episodes a week ain't realistic. I'm just going to go ahead and just be completely honest with you. So, no, I'll never be dropping 3 episodes a week. However, the 2 episodes, that right there, one to start the week, one to close the week, that definitely sounds like something that I can do. Now, once again, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Am I on recruiting duty? 100%. Does recruiting duty take up the bulk of my life? It really does. So I'm really testing this month out to see if I can, 1, stay committed to this, 2, can I keep up this output, and 3, to see exactly where it can go. So please, man, like, if you are listening, right, like, let me know exactly how you feel about like the 2 episodes a week, because this really could shape the way the podcast is going to go moving forward, you know. So please, man, like, I'm doing the best that I can to put this out. So it'll mean a lot if you give me back your feedback. Now that we got that piece out the way, let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. Now, I will say this, all right? I've been a top tier performer for majority of my career, all right? Like, when I came in, I'll tell you right now, yeah, I was a shitbag Lance Corporal. I ain't even about to lie to you. Let me rephrase that. I was a piece of shit as a PFC, okay? Had a lot on my shoulders, had a bad attitude, definitely needed a lot of mentoring to be able to get to exactly where I was at. But the moment that I got to where I was at, God, stand back, man. Like, I'm moving. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty much on autopilot. When I became an MAI, come on now. You see what I'm saying? And then when I became a martial arts instructor trainer, you couldn't tell me shit. I'm sorry. As a corporal, you just really couldn't tell me. And once I started to develop proficiency at my job, I solidified myself as a high-performing Marine, okay? I was a high-performing Marine at my 2nd duty station, and I took that and just literally just built upon it at my 3rd duty station. And then I went to my 4th duty station where I taught at the Martial Arts and Fitness Center of Excellence and continued to just perform around other high-performing individuals. Now, over this time, though, right, something fell off. You feel me? Something fell off, especially when I came out here on recruiting duty. I will tell you this right now. Recruiting duty is a beast of its own. All right? It's a beast of its own. And you really got to take into consideration. I naturally have charisma. You feel me? I know how to talk. But at the exact same time, still coming out here with my natural gifts, I'm already facing adversity. I'm already facing other issues. I'm already feeling like, damn, this was a big mistake. And I am not about to lie to you. And I remember coming out here, I want to say I came out here around May of 2024. So that was the end of the school year. And if you have met any recruiter, you know, coming out here, starting out, that's the worst time that you want to, because you're not in the schools, you're not shaking hands, you're not kissing babies, you're not meeting counselors, the kids don't see you. You literally have to cold call. And when you cold call and you getting rejected nonstop, hey, what's going on? This is that click. All right, bet. No, say no more. You doing this nonstop. You feel me? Every single day. And you are experiencing failure every single day. Rejection every single day. And I'll be lying to you if that shit don't eat at you. I'll be lying. Because when you a top performing Marine, you not experiencing rejection every single day now. You not failing every single day now. You know what I mean? And I just really want to take a moment, because I used to give recruiters hell when I was in the fleet, not realizing that motherfucker experienced 3 years of just straight pain. So I wish I could go back in time and tell him, like, yo, like, my bad, bro. Just go ahead and take the day, man. Like, I knew that, you know, you coming off of recruiting duty, man. Life was rough for you. But anyways, 3 years, straight pain. And I remember asking myself, like, 3 weeks in, like, I was just asking myself, like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't get anybody to come into the office. I'm getting no-showed. The kid saying that he gonna come in for an appointment. I show up for the appointment, and the next day the kid ain't there. Like, what the fuck am I doing? And then the kids that do come in, they fail in the test. Like, what's the disconnect? And that starts to weigh on you. Like, it starts off small, but then it just starts to weigh on you a little bit. You feel me? And I remember coming across this other recruiter. He was on his way out. And I had to go do like this event up in like Flagstaff. So he came down to help me. And he started, you know, just chopping it up with me, man. Like, he had said, like, dude, I've heard so much about you. Nothing but good. And I was like, I appreciate that. You know, I got that chip on my shoulder. So, you know, I'm not really trying to engage with anybody. You feel me? And he's like, dude, like, I've watched your stuff. I've heard about you outside of social media. I know that you are like a really good Marine, and like, you're a top Marine. You feel me? And I was like, yeah, man, but I don't really feel like that. And he said, dude, everybody goes through this. You feel me? Everybody goes through this shit while they're on recruiting duty, especially in the beginning of recruiting duty. But you got to ask yourself, like, is this where you going to stay, or is this where you going to grow from? You feel me? And I'm going to say that again, because I don't think a lot of people really understand exactly what I just said. Is this where you going to stay? You feel me? Like, is this bad day is this where you going to stay? Or is this bad moment, this bad day, is this where you going to grow? And that's exactly what he said. He said you was a top tier performer before you came out here. So why the fuck are you just not going to be one all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Like, you was a top tier performer at your last unit, and you was a top tier performer at your unit before that. So what? Because you came out here on recruiting duty, all of a sudden you just not going to be that? That's not how this works. And I really had to just like ask myself, and I had a 2-hour drive home, and I said to myself, I was like, yo, man, like, you really need to remember who the fuck you are, bro. You know what I mean? And I don't know who need to hear this, man, but you need to remember, and I'll say that again, because you need to remember who the fuck you are, okay? You need to remember that. Right now, as we speak, it's somebody driving to a job, and they saying to themselves, man, like, damn, man, like, I hope I can get it right. I just need a W. You had a W before. You don't remember that? You have overcome so many things in your way. And now all of a sudden, as soon as you get to a new storm, you just gonna forget all the shit that you just overcome? Come on, man. Let me really break that down. I will never understand how we go through these uphill battles, overcome all these obstacles, experience all these no's, go through all of these storms, and then as soon as we come out of them and we see another storm on the fucking horizon, all of a sudden you second guessing yourself? You doubting your abilities? You don't think that you gonna make it? But you previously just made it through the last 10 storms? You just made it through the last 9, last 8, last 7? And now all of a sudden you not gonna make it through this? Like you ain't got the experience? Like you ain't level up? Like, come on, man. You need to remember who the fuck you are. And I say that, man, because yes, do I know that there's a lot of Marines right now that's getting promoted to staff sergeant? Do I know that there's a lot of Marines right now getting promoted to gunnery sergeant? I completely understand that. You feel me? And congratulations. But I also know that there's some Marines right now that got passed over for staff sergeant. I know that there's some Marines right now that got passed over for gunnery sergeant. And that right there will shake your whole core, especially as somebody who has been passed over for gunnery sergeant. You feel me? 2024, I got passed over. And if you really remember it, that shit hit me hard. You feel me? It hit me hard. It had me second guessing exactly who I was. People was like, hey man, like, did you get selected? And I was like, nah, I just wasn't good enough. And I was saying that. And it took me like a week, man, like a week or two to lock the fuck back in and remember who the fuck I was. I was a top tier performer before the board. I'm going to be a top tier performer after the board. And I don't know who needs to hear this, man. But if one failure, right? Like if one failure, one misstep, one bad day, one bad moment can make you forget who the fuck you are, then guess what? You probably was never that person to begin with. That's the whole purpose of the adversity. You go through the adversity. You level up. You gain the experience. But if you change who you are, like your work ethic all of a sudden affected, you not confident like you used to be anymore, this shit done beat you down to the ground, and guess what? That probably wasn't even you to begin with, man. And I know that's kind of fucked up to say to somebody, but it's just a spade calling a spade. And especially as somebody who has experienced numerous setbacks. Every time I would fail, man, I would just pick myself up. Now, I'm not about to act like all of a sudden that I just had everything together. I cried. I beat myself up about it. I drank about it, man. I locked myself away. But at some point, man, I came back to fucking reality and remember who the fuck I was. And that's exactly what I want you to do. Remember who the fuck you are. Once again, I completely understand. Because this ain't me speaking from a high horse. This your captain flying in on Experience Airlines. I understand that life has a way of beating us down. You feel me? Like the adversities that life will throw at us will definitely chip away at our identity. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in the military, like your performance is runs entwined with your identity. You know what I mean? Like if you are successful, people recognize you as somebody that's successful. And if you a shitbag, people will recognize you as a shitbag. Is it fucked up? 100%. But at the exact same time, fucking results will speak louder than words. All right. That's just the reality. So when you fail, it almost chips away. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't almost. It does. It chips away at your fucking identity. When I got passed over for that board, it was real hard for me to say I'm better than you. It was hard, bro. Like it was really hard, man, because the board came out and 14 other people got promoted and I was not one of them. That was real hard for me to still say that I was better than you. You feel me? It was real hard to say that I was a top performer when I just got passed over for promotion. That did punch my ego in the face. But I will also say that I walked away and I still said that I was better than you. You feel me? This just ain't my moment. This just wasn't it. I'm not about to lie to you. When I was on recruiting duty and I will watch people from my graduating class, you feel me? Like my BRC class, they are already out on the streets. They are already writing contracts. You feel me? It was real hard, man, for me to show up on Instagram and see them standing next to their applicant. And meanwhile, I got an empty seat, no pictures on the wall. I haven't written anything and I'm about to make a phone call just to get hung up on. That shit was hard because it chips away at your identity. Chips away at your value. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like, am I supposed to be doing this? Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like, you ask yourself these things. So I completely understand. Life has a way of beating us down and chipping away at our identity. But let me rephrase that. Because if you allow life to continue to beat you down and chip away at your identity with every misstep and failure, then you're just going to end up surviving instead of living. Now, here's the thing, because once again, all of this stuff is easier said than done. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to say, remember who you are. But if you ain't got no references, you feel me? It's going to be hard for you to go back into memory lane, you know? I don't know who need to hear this, but some of y'all need to reread your fit rep. You feel me? Like, some of y'all really need to reread your fit rep and remember exactly who you are. All right, because somebody at some point said that you was top of the Christmas tree. Somebody said promote immediately. Somebody said they will seek you out again to work with. You feel me? So I don't know who need to hear this, but some of y'all need to go back and reread your fit rep and see exactly how good you were before this moment right here. I say that, man, because ain't nothing wrong with checking receipts. I know you ain't supposed to dwell on past accomplishments, but at the exact same time, man, like those past accomplishments is the fuel that will allow you to get through the storm that you're currently in. When I was faced with that adversity, you know what I mean? Like when I wasn't recruiting shit, I had to reread my old fit reps and remember that I was good. I was good. I just need to adapt. When I got passed over for promotion, I reread that. I went back down my list of accomplishments. You feel me? And the reason why I had to is because I had to realize, man, like, I'm not a bad Marine. I'm not a shitty performer. I don't have bad work ethic. You feel me? I might need to tighten some stuff up and prepare for the next battle, but I'm not shit. And if I'm not shit, you're not, bro. Stop letting these failures make you forget all the things that you got up on your wall. You've been promoted before. You've been picked number one before. You've been told that you were great before. And it's time that you remember that. So I don't care what you got to do. Go in, pull up all your fit reps, see your accomplishments, and adjust fire from there. Go through your phone, see the pictures of what you have taken of your accomplishments, and adjust fire from there. I don't care what you got to do, but you need to remember exactly who you are. And as we come to a close to this episode, I want whoever's listening to remember exactly who the fuck you are, okay? I want you to go ahead and I want you to dig deep. You feel me? And I want you to remind yourself of the battles that you have fought, the battles that you have won, the mountains that you have climbed, the obstacles that you have overcome, okay? Because I'll be completely honest with you. The only person that's really hard on you right now is you. But the only person that can get you out of this is also you. So stop dwelling on your past failures, okay? Stop thinking that you not going to be good like you was just good last month, last year. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. I know that it can be frustrating because you ain't seeing the results that you want. But at the exact same time, you a top tier performer. You are a great father. You are a great mother. You are a great sister. You are a great human being. You just need to remember who the fuck you are. And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. Also, don't forget to head on over to TikTok or Instagram and follow me at Meech Speaks. That's right, Meech Speaks. Meech is spelled Meech. Stay motivated, stay healthy. I'm out.